little bittersweet sitting up here having to talk to you this way, because couldn't be any more proud of our team for the way we came out and competed against, you know, the number 3 team in the nation, the number 1 team in our conference. I don't want to take anything away from Ferris State, because obviously they played a heck of a game too, but I thought we played it well enough to win the hockey game, and hey, that's what happens in overtime. I think looking at our season as a whole, forever indebted to our seniors, guys that led the way. I think everybody stepped up. The right time of year, we were a very good team. And I think that's the great mark, the true mark of a great team. And, you know, it's just unfortunate that it ends for us here tonight, but I think as much as it stings moving forward, time will heal, and we'll be able to reflect on what was a very positive season for us and a well-played season.
Coach, can you talk about that first period and being down 2 goals and what your team did to come back and score those 4 unanswered goals?
Yeah, you know, we felt really good coming in. Rob Gunderson got us here. He was phenomenal against Fairbanks, and I think, you know, for him to have a tough night, obviously the first shot of the game goes in, the second shot goes in, and I don't think any of us write it up that way. And you know, during that timeout, I usually like to talk to the entire team, and I had a little individual conversation with him, and I said, hey, I don't care. I don't care. You're a warrior. You competed all year. You're the one that got us here. We're not here if you don't play the way you did. So I think it was a little tough on him more than in. I think when you're playing one of the top teams in the country, it's tough. That mountain looks pretty high that you got to climb when they get a lead on you. And again, I'm going to point right to our you know, the guy that was sitting next to me, the 2 guys. You know, they connect on a play down low, and Brett Cameron finishes it off, and that's our line that's all year has sparked us. They get us within 2-1. I thought for the majority of that period it was controlled by us. Going into the first period, you hate being down 2-1, but you've got to shake things off, and you hope that everybody kind of responds. And I thought we did. We made a couple of bad mistakes there late in the second period, but our response was awesome. You know, for Hudson Friesen to score a goal the way he did, for Zach Rassel to score, you know, our 3rd and 4th line step up and get the job done. And obviously, you know, we had all 4 lines score for us tonight. And I think if you want to win a game this time of year, you have to do that. So it was fun to be a part of, for sure. I was really proud of the guys. Obviously, we were playing a pretty darn good team, and you know, they found a way to get back into it.
Obviously, taking the win improvement in record between last year and this year, you have that on your mind, and then getting all the way to this point. Is that something to build off of for next year? Is it something you're going to be thinking about right at the beginning of the year?
Yeah, I think you know, it's always a little bit of an opportunity to reflect when the season ends. It's hard. It's hard. Like you know, emotionally you invest so much into it. So for it to be over, I think is something that doesn't feel very good. So right now, we just feel like we let ourselves down. But I think when we get the opportunity to go back, there was a good base, there was a good foundation there. You know, obviously, you look at some of the players that we had a strong team. And I think the opportunity, you know, what I got to inherit was a very good group of young men. They came together the right way, they battled. I think, if anything, this season only proves to us just how good of a program we can be. It's not going to happen automatically next year. We're certainly going to need to have the same type of performances we had from our players this year. There's going to be guys that are going to have to step up and fill the void for guys that are graduating and moving on. And I think, again, I don't think I say enough about the players. It's all them. It truly is. As a coach, you know, you put together a game plan and you put together, you know, you try to mold your group, but it means nothing if your players don't have belief. And all those guys did is they believed in each other. You know, they believed in what we were doing, and I think that's a special group. It's too bad that we don't get to continue playing because, you know, as much as you know, everyone has these kind of real terrible endings to their season, and they're devastating in so many ways. But right now, I've been through enough of them as a coach to know that these guys are going to look back years from now and remember the season. And I think that's what you're trying to do for these guys, these young men. You're trying to create memories for them. You're trying to teach them to grow. And I think this year did a lot of that for our group. So, you know, again, I just have to say our seniors, man, those guys, Chris Kamal, to come in and do what he did. His first shot was a breakaway. And he makes a stop. Like, that was awesome. You know, it's too bad we didn't win it for those guys because, you know, from Gunderson to Kamal to Quinn Spruill to Jordan Quaz, you know, and the one thing that you never get to talk about is the injuries, but, you know, Jordan Quaz is a warrior. You can't even believe he's on the ice right now. And obviously Matt Bailey, he's special. He was our heartbeat all year, and there isn't a guy, I'll put him up against anybody in the country of a guy that competes. Nobody competes as hard as that guy, and you know, it was just a privilege to be able to coach all
Decision
five.
to go with Kamal in the third period?
You think it was an easy one?
No. I do not. That's why I'm asking you the question.
You know what, I think, I almost thought about going with him after the first period, but I didn't want it to cross my mind because Rob Gunderson had been so good, and you know, and I think, you know, he responded. He made some pretty good saves for us after the fact, and a couple, you know, tough ones as he went. But sometimes it's just not your night, and unfortunately, in that goaltending position, you know, I always say a forward can get away with it. A D gets pretty exposed. A goaltender, everybody in the building knows, and I just thought that when it wasn't his night at the situation we were in, I thought from a motivation factor to our team, because of the way these seniors have been, whether they've meant to our team, I knew the guys would step up. And I knew Chris Kamal would step up, and I knew Rob Gunderson understood. And, you know, it's a pretty special thing. I got to coach under Sean Walsh. And if anybody ever remembers the story, he won a national championship. He pulled his goalie in the going into the third period, and you would think he was nuts to do it, and they won a national championship. And for every moment I was making that decision, I was thinking about him and what he did, and I said, hey, sometimes you have to do that. So it was, you know, pretty cool to do, and to get a performance, you know, out of Kamal. You know, he was awesome. Again, he's the guy that got us here in the second half. So it was, you know, it was just one of those gut things as a coach. You got to make them, but I probably do have to thank Sean Walsh.